Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Now, I would like to explain the Zoom lesson. Don't forget that I've sent the document to the group, so I'll explain it part by part. The topic we took was geometric shapes. Before now, we took lines and angles. Lines, angles, shapes, they are under geometric or geometry. So what is geometric shapes? It's the same thing as the shape you already know. Geometric shapes are the form of an object, any object you could think of, or its outline. Outline means outer parts, outer boundary, or outer surface. So any object that has outer boundary, outer lines, and you are able to draw it is called geometric shape. You can see them around you. We talk of ball, we talk of paper, we talk of table. All of this came with one shape or the other. So that is shape for you. Classes of shapes. We have two types or two classes of shape: the flat or plane or two-dimensional shapes. And the second one is the solid or three-dimensional shapes. The flat shape is the one you already know, the one that has only length and breadth. It has two dimensions, length and breadth. The another name for breadth is width. So examples of these are paper, like square. For example, look at this paper. This is a plate. It's a flat shape. It's a two-dimensional shape because it has only length and breadth. Length and breadth. So we have a lot of them around us. So you'll be asked to look for perimeters and areas of these flat shapes. They ask you, look for perimeter of square, area of square, perimeter of circle, area of circle, perimeter of triangle, area of triangle, and for the other shapes under solid flat shapes. So the second one is the solid shape. I said solid shapes are shapes that have three dimensions: length, breadth, and height, or we call it thickness. For example, look at this book. This book is not a flat shape. You will see that it has length, it has breadth, it has thickness. Look at the way it is thick. There is the height, or you call it thickness. So that is solid shape. Examples are cubes, cuboids, cylinders, and the rest and the likes. So you'll be asked to look for surface area here. They'll ask you to look for surface area of cube, surface area of cuboid, surface area of cylinder, or they ask you volume of cube and the capacity. So that is the question you will see under solid shapes. The second one is properties of geometric shapes. Let's look at the way they are. Starting from the flat shape, let me list some flat shapes for you so that you can see this. You can see them properly. We have and semicircle. You all know circle, a round shape, and semicircle too is half of a circle. So oval is the shape of an egg, or semi-oval, half of the shape. So we also have polygons. Don't forget polygons are those shapes with three or more shapes, or more sides. Three or more sides. We have, starting from triangle. The first polygon is triangle, followed by quadrilaterals. All the quadrilaterals has four sides. So we have regular polygons. So regular polygons are polygons that have all the sides are equal. Shapes that have all its sides equal. Shapes that are more than three sides and the sides are equal, they are called regular polygons. While irregular are those ones that have irregular sides, or I call it, they have unequal sides. One will be 5 centimeter here, one will be 4 centimeter here, one will be 3 centimeter here. So triangle is a polygon. Quadrilaterals are polygons, like square is a quadrilateral and it's a polygon. Rectangle is a quadrilateral, it's a polygon. Parallelogram, rhombus, trapezium, kite, pentagon. Pentagon has 5 sides, hexagon 6 sides, heptagon 7 sides, octagon 8 sides, nonagon or enneagon is 9 sides, decagon 10, endecagon 11, dodecagon 12, tridecagon 13 or tridecagon 13. We have tetradecagon or tetrachidecagon, we have pentadecagon, we have hexadecagon, heptadecagon, octadecagon, enneadecagon or nonadecagon, icosagon 20, icosagon 20. We also have a lot of them. Hectadecagon, that's 100. So pentacondecagon, I think that's 50. So they have names, but if the general name, if you want to write any, if you write it this way, n gun, if it is 41 sides, just say 41 gun. If it is 22 sides, 22 gun. It is a generally accepted nomenclature. So that is that on that. So we have to move to irregular polygons. We have simple or complex irregular polygon. The simple irregular polygons are those ones that you know. Irregular pentagon. Pentagon can be irregular and can be regular. When will it be irregular? When the sides are not equal. When will hexagon be irregular? When the sides are not equal. So that is that on. We also have complex irregular polygons, where you will see it different sides, but it will be complex. It will be very, very complex. You may see two shapes joined together. So that is irregular polygon. So we move to what we call solid shapes. We have cube, we have cuboid, cylinder, cone, sphere, hemisphere, prism, pyramid. Prism and pyramid are called polyhedrons. Why are they called polyhedron? Because they have different plenty faces. They have plenty faces. So you will see them later. Let's now start with the property. The first one is the square. Square has 4 equal sides. All its 4 angles are right angles. You see right angle, that's 90 degrees. It has 4 lines of symmetry. Line of symmetry is the line that divides a shape into 2 equal parts. So you see that you can divide this shape into 4. So it has 4 lines of symmetry. That is that on that. Rectangle too is just, it has 4 sides too. Opposite sides are equal in length. If you see opposite sides, they are equal in length. If this place is 10, this place will be 10, this place is 4, this place will be 4. So all its 4 angles are right angles. You see that the 4 angles is just like the square. The angles are right angle. They are right angle. This place, they are right angle, right angle, right angle. So you see, don't forget that sum of angles in quadrilateral is equal to 360 degrees. While sum of angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. So now another property is that it has 2 lines of symmetry. If you look for the square of symmetry, the line of symmetry of this shape, you see that it can be drawn 2 times. So it has 2. The third one is triangle. Triangle itself, what do we use in describing triangle? We use sides and angles to describe triangle. So triangle has 3 sides. It also has 3 angles. So the sum of the angles is always 180 degrees. So let's go to the types. According to the sides of the triangle, we want to look at sides. The triangle can be classified into 3. Where we'll be talking about equilateral, equal sides. All the sides are equal. Where we'll be talking about scalene, none of the sides are equal. Isosceles, 2 sides are equal, 2 angles too are equal. So equilateral has all that are equal, 60, 60, 60. If you sum it up, you get 180. All the lines too, all the sides too are also equal. That's equilateral. Isosceles, all the sides 2 of the sides are equal and 2 angles are equal. So we'll get to know more about them. But according to interior angles, the angles inside, if you want to describe or characterize triangle based on the interior angles, we'll be saying we have 3 types of them too. We have the acute angle triangle, we have the right angle triangle, and we have the obtuse angled triangle. You see that all these 3, they are types of angle. So when you have the angles in the triangle being acute angle, so that triangle will be acute angle triangle. When it is right angle, it will be right angle triangle. When it is obtuse angle, it will be obtuse triangle. What do I mean? I've explained the equilateral. It has 3 equal sides. all the side angles are of the same size, all the three angles are 60 degrees each, it has three lines of symmetry. If you draw it, you see that it has three lines of symmetry. Take note of the lines of symmetry, please. Isosceles triangle 2 has two equal sides. Only two of its angles are equal. It has one line of symmetry. So equilateral has three lines of symmetry. Isosceles has one line of symmetry. While scalene, I think scalene, you see, it has no line of symmetry. But all the sides are not equal and the angles too are not equal. So that is that on scalene. But talking about acute angle triangle can be isosceles, it can be scalene, it can be equilateral. Why? Because these three angles inside, they are less than 90 degrees. By the time you see, look at equilateral triangle, you see that the angles inside equilateral triangle is 60, 60, 60. It means they are less than 90. So that type of triangle is acute angled triangle. If you look at isosceles too, if you have 50 in this side, 50 here, that will be 100. The one that will be on top will be 80. The three angles, 50, 50, 80. So it makes that triangle an acute angled triangle. So that is that on acute angle. Obtuse angle the same way. One of the angles in the triangle will be obtuse. That means obtuse angle is more than 90 degrees. So look at the example I gave there. I gave 130, 25, 25. If you add it up, you get 180 degrees. So one of the angles, one of the three angles is 130 degrees more than 90. That is obtuse angle. That likewise the second one, 110 is more than 90. It makes it obtuse angled triangle. So based on the interior angles, that is how you classify it. The third one is also right angle triangle. You see that right angle is 90. So when you have one angle being 90 degrees, it means the angle is what? Right angle triangle. There's no left angle anyway. Even if it is facing this side, it is still, and if it is facing your left, it's still what? It's still your right angled triangle. Why the longest line is called hypotenuse? Hypotenuse is the line, is the longest line. It is the 90 degrees or the right angle will be facing that longest line. Look at it. You see that 19 is facing that longest line. That is the hypotenuse. Now it can have 0 or 1 line of symmetry. So you see that you can divide through that angle 90. You can divide that triangle into 2. That is line of symmetry. It means it has 1 line of symmetry. Parallelogram. Parallelogram has 4 sides. Look at this shape very well. It has 4 sides. It's a quadrilateral. We know. A parallelogram has sides parallel. You see the opposite sides, they are parallel. Parallel lines are lines that can never meet. So you see this one, this side too, they are also what? Parallel to each other. So opposite sides are parallel. Take note. The opposite sides are equal in length. Opposite sides are equal. If this plane is 4, this plane will be 4. If this plane is 10, this plane will be 10. It's just like a rectangle. That is that. The fourth one is opposite angles too are equal in value. If you look at it, opposite angle. Which one are opposite angle? Look at this A and C. They are opposite to each other. B and D are opposite to each other. They are also what? Equal in length. If that B is 40, that D too will be 40. If A is 100, C will be 100. If you add everything together, it must be equal to 360 degrees. So the fifth one, it has no line of symmetry. Look at it very well. It has no line of symmetry. You can't break it. I can't divide it into 2 and you get equal parts. Like, it's not possible. So that's that on our parallelogram. Rhombus 2 is like parallelogram. It has 4 sides. 2 is a quadrilateral. All these 4 sides are equal in length. The opposite angles are equal in value too. Opposite angles too. Look at it. They are equal in value. It has 2 lines of symmetry. Don't mix lines with angles. When I'm talking of angle, it means interior numbers, interior angles inside. So it has 2 lines of symmetry. It means you can divide it into 2. You can have 2 ways of dividing it, and you will divide it into 2 equal parts. So number 6, a trapezium. Trapezium 2 is a quadrilateral. It has 4 sides. All its sides are of different length. You see that AB is different to BC, it's different to CD, it's different to AD. So if you say 4, that will be 5, 6, 7. It will be different. They don't have equal sides. So that's what they are telling you. All its angles are of different sizes. So even the angles inside, they are of different sizes. They are not the same, but they must be equal to 360 when you add up all the angles together. So it has a pair of parallel lines. What do you mean by that? That means if you look at trapezium, you see that AB is what? is parallel to DC. That means they are parallel to each other. But the other one, AD and BC, they are not parallel. So it has only one pair. If I say pair, it means two things, two lines, two things. If I say a pair of trousers, it means I'm talking of two what? Two trousers. A pair of trousers means a trouser that has two legs. You understand? If I say a pair of shoes, it means two pieces of shoes. So I mean by a pair of a pair of parallel lines. It has no line of symmetry. You can't divide it into two equal parts. So 7. That is number 7. Number 7 is kite. The name is not there, sorry. Kite is the 7th one. Kite has 4 sides. The neighboring side of the kite are equal. What do you mean by neighboring side? You see that this neighboring AB and AD, they are beside each other. They are what? They are of the same length. So they are equal. This way is 4, this way will be 4. BC and CD, they are also the same thing. They are also the same length. So they are of the same length. Only one pair of opposite angles are equal. You will see that angle B and angle D, they are equal, facing each other. What if that angle is 100? That D2 will be 100. They are the only one that are equal. Take note of that. Why angle A and C are not equal in their own case? That means angle ADC is equal to angle ABC. Now, let's go to number 8, pentagon. Pentagon is a polygon as well. It has 5 sides. It can be regular or irregular, as we have discussed. Irregular is when they have the same sides, the same length, while irregular, different length. So, regular pentagon has equal sides and 5 lines of symmetry. So, if it is pentagon, it has 5 lines of symmetry. If it is hexagon, 6 lines of symmetry. If it is heptagon, it is 7. So, in that order. So, pentagon here, you see I have drawn it here. You can do it yourself. Draw it and you look for the lines of symmetry to be what? 5. That is pentagon. Now let's go to and the rest of the end gun. End gun, maybe 21 gun, 22 gun, 23 gun, 24 gun, and the likes. So number 9, a circle. Here we are going to be talking about the lines and angles areas in circle. What do you mean by a line? You will see. But before that, you know a circle before, that a circle is a round-shaped plane. It has a fixed point, which is equal distance to the circle from any direction. Fixed point is the center. So if you draw it like this, it will be this equal to the when drawing it like this. So from the point, say one thing, the longest part of a circle is the circumference that you use in drawing the circle. So that's number 1. Let's take note of this thing. A, center or fixed point. That is the A I labeled there. That is the center point. B is the arc. Any part of the circle is the what? Is the arc. You just as if you take a fraction of the circle, or the line of a circle is what? Is an arc. C is a chord. A chord is the line that is joining two circumference together from one end to another. Look at it. It is C for you. D is a diameter from one end to another. So let me tell you one thing. Diameter too is a chord, but it is a chord that divides what? The circle into 2 equal parts. Because that we talk of chord. Chord is from one circumference to another. Diameter too is from one circumference to another. So it is a chord as well, but is what? Is a bigger. It is a chord that divides what? The circle into 2 equal parts. That makes it semicircle. Now we move to the E. A radius. E is a radius, is just half of a what? Half of a diameter. Half of a diameter. It can be in any, it can be in the vertical, it can be vertically, it can be horizontally. So that is radius. Then the F, I've talked about circumference. Let's go to area. We have segment, quadrant, and sector. Where do we have segment? Segment is the space between the arc and the chord. So you see G, that space is area. That is called segment. And we have quadrant. Quadrant is when you divide circle into 4 equal parts. So each part is called quadrant. So that H is the what? Is the quadrant. And I is the sector. Look at sector is when you have 2 radii and you have an arc that covers it. So You can even use orange to get it. That means 2 radi, 1 arc. It is I. So that is sector for you. Let's go to the properties of solid shapes. Don't forget that solid shapes are shapes that have 3 dimensions: the length, the breadth, and height or thickness. We start from cube. Cube has 6 faces. It has 8 vertices. Vertices is another name for singular of vertices is vertex, while the plural is vertices. Another name for vertices is corners. So it has 12 edges. You know edges. It has 12. If you count it, you see that it has 12 edges. So and a face of it is a square. So it is a square that they use in making a cube. And if you are asked question on the 6 faces, 8 vertices, 12 edges, that's a cube for you. Even keyboard, the same thing. Keyboard has 6 faces, 8 vertices, 12 edges, and they use rectangle to what? To make a keyboard. So that is that on cube and keyboard. The third shape is a cylinder. A cylinder has 3 faces, it has 2 edges, and it has no vertex. It has no what? Vertex. What are the faces? You see one up, the one that the body, and the one that covers it at the bottom. So those are the 3 faces, and the edges are the two lines beside the shape. A cone too, cone has 2 faces, not 3 faces. The last one on there, it has 1 edge. The 1 edge, that's the 1 edge. It has no vertex. Vertex or corner, it has no vertex. So it's like a cylinder. Now a sphere. A sphere has 1 round face. It has no edge and no vertex. A sphere is just like a ball. Any shape that it's like that is called a sphere. We have hemisphere too. Half of a sphere is hemisphere. So prism. A prism is a polyhedron. And I told you prism and pyramid, they are polyhedron. They have different faces. You look at this one. This one has more than they have plenty faces. So this one is 5 faces. Polyhedron is a polyhedron. The general formula for face, edge, and vertex are plus 2, 3n, and 2n respectively. What do I mean by this? For example, look at this shape that I drew. A prism. This is a triangular prism. Why? Because that face is a triangle. If you look at that part under, it's like a triangle. That means it is triangle I use in making that what? That prism. Because it is a triangle, it has 3 sides. So if I want to get the face, say n plus 1, that is 3 plus 2. That will be 5. That means to get the face of the prism, I'm going to add 3 plus 2 to get my 5. So to get the edge, I'm going to multiply 3 by 3 years to get my 9. To get 9, that will be the edge. To get my vertex, I'm going to multiply 3. You have 3 sides of a triangle. So that 2 times 3 will be 6 vertices. You understand? So don't take note of this little formula. N plus 2 to get face, 3n to get edge, 2n to get vertex. So that is that on prism. And other prisms, you have other prism. Another name for triangular prism is pentahedron. If you want to know how to get this, name is very simple. You know it's triangular prism. So when you want to form the hedron for it, just add 2 to it. That will be 3 plus 2, 5. That 5 is penta, so it will be pentahedron. If you have square prism now is one that have square face. Do you know how to get the face now? They have square that you use square to form. You know this one we use triangle to form. There's one that we use form. So it will be what? If you want to get the face of that one, it will be n plus 2. That is 4 plus 2. It will have 6 faces. If you want to get the edge, 3 plus 4, that 3 times 4, that will be 12 edges. And if you want to get the vertex or vertices, it will be 2n, which will be 2 times 4. That will be 8 vertices. But if you want to name it using hedron, you are going to add 2 to that 4, making 6. That will make it hexahedron. You know it is 4 square, it is 4. So add 2 to it, that will be 6. What is 6 in polygon? Hexa. So you call it hexahedron. If it is rectangular 2 is 4. Add 2 to it, hexahedron. hexagonal prism, add 2 to it, 5, 6, 7. Penta means 5, add 2 to it, making 7. So it will be a heptahedron. That's how to get the hedron side. So prism can be in two form. It can be in hedron and it can be in other form. Like now, triangular prism can also be called pentahedron. So, and the next one is a prism. A prism is also a polyhedron as well. It has a general formula too. When you want to get the face, you are going to do plus 1. When you want to get the vertex, it is 2n. When you want to get the If you want to get the face, it is n plus 1. If you want to get the edge, it's 2n. While if you want to get the vertex, it will be n plus 1 as well too. For example, let's take this as another. Let's take square base pyramid. Square base pyramid and rectangular base pyramid, they are the same thing because they have four. They use square to something 4 sides to form them. Look at it. They use 4 sides to form the square, and rectangle has 4 sides. So if I want to look for the face of this one, I'll just say n plus 1. Now it's 4 plus 1, 5. That means the face will be 5. Can you see that there? If I want to form the edge is 2n. I'm going to say 2 times 4, 8. It will be 8 edges. If I want to form the vertex, I'm going to say n plus 1. That is 4 plus 1. That is 5 vertices. So other names, we can form the hedron for this one too, but it is 1 you'll be adding to this one, not 2, like the prism. The prism is 2, why this one will be 1. For example, look at, I'll add 1 to square, make 4, making plus 1, 5. So this square base prism is called pentahedron. Rectangular base prism too is penta because it is 4 plus 1. If I have hexagonal pyramid, I'm talking about pyramid though. If I have hexagonal pyramid, if I want to name it hedron, it will be heptahedron. Just add 1 to it, you get your hedron. So that is that on pyramid. Other pyramid that we have is triangular base pyramid, and that will be what? Square tetrahedron. That's 4. 4 is tetra. Pentagonal pyramid is hexahedron. Hexagonal pyramid will be heptahedron in that order. Take note of all these names. That is that on that. Now your classwork. Write the names of this plane shape. You look at it there. Triangle with equal sides. What is it? A plane shape with 8 sides. What is it? A region between 2 radii and an arc is what? 4-sided polygon of equal side is what? A triangle with all the angles acute, whereby all the angles are inside are acute, is called what? That's your classwork. That's one. And your homework too. Just look at it, read it very well, and answer the questions. So this is where it stops. You have to submit on, is it not on Friday? Before Friday, so that we can move forward. We are going to another. We are still going to take geometry next time, inshallah al-Kareem, because it's a wide topic. May Allah be with us all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.